All right. Um, it's been a rough couple of weeks, to say the least. Last week was pretty tough for me. I was just a ball of emotions after watching the video of George Floyd's murder. I was appalled, frustrated, mad, pissed, sad, not hopeful, just all sorts of emotions. And it was just kind of affecting me. I was just down, and like it was like a dark cloud that was kind of over my head. And for me, just witnessing and watching that video of those four cops murdering George Floyd was just really hard to watch. And anyone that has a heart, anyone that has a soul would feel that same way. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, Hispanic, it does not matter. You would feel that same way. And the reason why I am frustrated is because that could have been me. That could have been me. There's been several times where I have been pulled over by the cops for no apparent reason, and you just feel like they're pulling you over because of the color of your skin. And yeah, it just irks me thinking about it. But so let's just back up. So my story is a little different. My story is very different from the normal black experience, so to speak. So I grew up with a white father. He was my stepdad, but he was there when I was two, since I was two. And my mom, my biological mom, she's black, but I never have met my biological father, who is black. And it really makes me mad to know that a man did not want to take care of his own seed just because he had his own selfish intent. And for me, it has sparked change in my heart to say, you know what? My biological father may have not wanted me, but I'm going to be the best father that I can be for my boys and make sure that I'm there, make sure I'm present, make sure that I am at their baseball or hockey games, whatever sport they play, make sure that I do go to their conferences, because this idea of the black father that is not present is false, because I know a lot of good black fathers. And so I want to change that. And for me, I have been left with a more, this year I feel, or this week, I feel more hope. After watching the protests, I do plan on joining them. But watching the protests and seeing all sorts of people come through, white people, black people, peacefully protesting and coming together as one and trying to get this just for everyone. Because not only it's not just a black issue, it's a human issue, right? It's a human issue. And so for me, my experience is just different. And I grew up playing hockey. Hockey. Do you know how many black people play hockey? Not many black people play hockey. So every time I walked through the locker room, I was probably the only black person on the team. I only played with one other black guy, and that was in Canada. Gathers, what's up? And I always was treated fairly. I never was treated wrongly on my team. But there was, I had some teammates that you could tell they had questions, and I was their only black person that they kind of encountered and experienced with. And so I went on to play college hockey, and I experienced racism along the way. There were several times where I got called nigger on the ice. There were several times where people would miss my hand in the line to shake hands. And you're just like, what in the world is that? There's several times. This does exist. Racism does exist. But does that stop me from being the best person that I can be? No. Does that stop me from being the best father that I can be, the best husband that I can be? No. I married a white woman. I love a white woman. That doesn't mean I don't like black women. I love all women. But I happen to choose a white woman. And we always have these conversations about race. What are we doing when we get pulled over? What should I do? how should I talk to them? I had to talk to her about this and how we should approach everything. We have these conversations. And for me, the thing that really frustrates me is that we've been dealing with this for so long and it's just keeps coming back. History repeats itself and it's time to make a change. It's time to move forward past this. And I think the best way to do this is to continue to have conversations with people that just don't look like you. Have those uncomfortable conversations with people that have questions but are afraid to ask them, because it's very important to spark up conversation with one another about your race and the situations that you've been in so people can see your experience. That's all it is sharing your experience. And yeah, I it's frustrating. It's frustrating, but I know that we can do this. I know that we can see change, and it takes all of us to do this. So I encourage you, if you have a black friend, call them, ask them questions about their experience, see how they're doing, and just conversate. Just conversate. And yeah, um, yeah, I'm very thankful that, for me, I have a wide range of friends. I have Hispanic friends, black friends, white friends, Asian friends. I have them all. And never in my life have I ever said, I can't be friends with that person because they are purple. I can't be friends with them because they are white. That has never crossed my mind, because the thing that I look for in a friend is the content of their character. Is, do they bring me joy when I'm around them? Do they make me a better person when I'm around them? Those are all things that I've always thought about. And I've never thought about if I should befriend someone because of the color of their skin. And it's frustrating to me that someone would think opposite of me, to think that since I am black, since that I don't look like them, that I am a bad person and I'm not worthwhile and I wasn't created in God's image. Like that bothers me. So what can I do? What can I do to change that? And I've said this before, but I have to continue to love my family. I have to continue to love my wife. I have to continue to love my friends. I have to continue to go out into the world and be the example that God wants me to be. And yeah, I've had several friends reach out to me like from 10 years ago and tell me how I've changed their outlook on black people. That's amazing. And so I just hope that we can all come together and make change, seek justice for everyone. So maybe one day when I get pulled over, and maybe I don't have to feel fearful when I get pulled over. Because when I get pulled over, I feel like, the cop is just out to get me. And I start to sweat. My armpits start to sweat. My heart rate elevates. And it's not a good experience. And so I pray and I hope that when our boys grow up, they will be able to have and experience a different world, a new world. And, if you've seen our channel and you watch some of our videos, Malcolm is darker than Jackson. That's just how the genetics work. And Lindsay and I were talking the other day about how, what if Malcolm and Jackson are both in the car together and they're driving and they get pulled over? Will Malcolm get treated differently, or will Jackson get treated better because he looks lighter than Malcolm? These are conversations that we're having, and they're real conversations. And, with our kids, it's hard to have that conversation because they're 4 and 3. Jackson overheard me and Lindsay talking about the situation and me getting heated, and he asked, Dad, did a cop kill the man? and I stopped because I didn't know how to respond, because I don't want his vision of a police officer, which they look up to be negative. Because I've encountered good cops and I've encountered bad cops. And so we're working through that conversation, peace with them, talking about it, and it's just difficult. So I just want to encourage you guys to continue to have that conversation. And one thing that I always say on this channel is, I go, welcome to Good Times with the Goodies, where every single day is a good day, and today is a great day to be alive. And I'm thankful that I'm alive to change the next generation.